Hi, how are you? How is everybody? This is Mark Ginsberg. I am really excited. I'm going to have another working video, which means I'm going to stop when I see errors and I'm going to fix them. And then in the next, sometime down the road, you'll get the real version of the latest episode of The New On the Family, which is going to be episode 33. Fade in, internal, the house, kitchen, day. Joey and Josh are eating some cereal. They're pretty quiet, munching in silence. Joey, you going to do the dishes and wipe the tables, please? Josh, what about Mom? I got to study for my career. Joey, are you that selfish that you're going to make your mom clean up your own mess? Josh tries to hide his evident sullenness and ignore that with indifference. Joey, well, I got news for you. I got a real career and people that are counting on me, and you got nobody counting on you. So you're the odd man out. Firm voice. Clean up and don't disturb your mom. Joey leaves while Josh sits over his empty bowl, now clearly sulking. Internal, Samantha's hospital room, day. Samantha is just waking up as an aide comes in to check on her. She yawns and stretches as she lies in bed with a smile. Aide. Good morning, Samantha. How are you feeling this morning? You look better than I've seen you before. Samantha. Yeah, I found something about my mom that was a shocker. Aide. Oh, yeah? Looks to Samantha with curiosity to know. Well, I found my first error. I misspelled Samantha. Excuse you. Oh, what the hell? Spelling Samantha. There we go. Looks to Samantha with curiosity to know. Samantha. Oh, I can't give out. I just wanted to say why I feel good. That's all. You can understand, right? A, disappointed yet understands. Oh, sure. Do you want me to take you to the shower and get you refreshed? Samantha. No, I can do that myself. Abe. Don't forget you were sedated again, so it looks like you could still lose your balance. It's like the sedative hangover. Samantha. No, that's all right. All right, just bring me a wet towel and one of those freshening wipes. I'll be fine with that. Abe, as she changes the tubing. That sounds great. Samantha. Did you ever learn something shocking about your mom? Abe, laughing. No, I don't think I'm that lucky. Whatever is shocking about her, I already knew. Laughs nervously. Internal, the house, kitchen, day. Giselle enters, tired, waking up like. Josh is sitting at the table eating a bowl of cereal. Giselle, I need some coffee. She goes over to the pot and pours herself a cup as Josh relishes the cereal. Giselle, turning around. Wow, kitchen looks so clean. Don't tell me you did this too. Josh. Yeah, you don't think Dad has the time for this before he rushed off to work. Giselle. Well, he better get his act at home together before she stops. Josh. What's the matter, Ma? You were onto something good. He wasn't in a good mood. Giselle. I wanted to talk to him, but I don't need to burden you with his problems. Josh. Sit down, Ma. Relax. Have something to eat. Giselle keeps standing. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, I'm not hungry. I think I'll just get ready for my own work on the chance they'll take me back after all this time. Then I'll get a second cup, and I'm off. Josh. But you need to get your nutrition. Giselle. Since when are you the nutrition expert? All I ever see you do is stuff your face. Josh. I know, but that's what Dad said. I mean Grandpa. Giselle. Well, I'll order out. Let me get there first. Sip some more. What'd your grandpa call you out on all the sugars you scarfed down? Josh. Ma, you gotta remember I was locked up for 6 months. Oh. Okay, capitalized word. That's what happens because I have to do carriage return. Never mind. Okay, Ma, you gotta remember I was locked up for 6 months. I gotta replete my stores. Giselle, laughing. Yeah, sure. With sugar, of course. Josh. It's true, though. Giselle. You're really entertaining, I have to admit that. Josh. Thank you. So you think I can get on the computer and study? Giselle. Don't you have books you could read? Josh. It's not the area of expertise I need to know. Giselle. Well, as admirable as it is, young man, that you're ready for the world, this is still high school you're in. So you have to study everything to pass your courses and get into the school you want to go to. You just have to sit tight and read your books until Grandpa finishes his work. Josh smiles. Hey, that's right. Grandpa's free because he lost his job. Keeps talking. Giselle talking over him. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Josh right after his last statement. No, he can come over any time. Giselle. Well, that's between you and him. Puts cup down. I'm already running late, so I don't have time to get chatty with you. She rushes out. Josh. Okay, bye, Ma. Giselle off screen. Oh, I'm coming back, remember? I got a second cup of coffee to get. Internal, Samantha's hospital room day. Samantha is sitting up in her bed watching TV, but is more into her phone. In walks Dr. Moorfield. She puts the phone down and turns the TV off. Samantha, smiling, happy. Dr. Moorfield. Dr. Moorfield. Hey there, Samantha. How are you today? You seem to be looking much better. Samantha, grinning. I'm doing all right. Better than before. I'm doing all right. Better than before, Dr. Moorfield. I'm really happy to hear that, especially considering all the ups and downs we've had. I'm really happy to hear that, and I applaud and congratulate you. Okay, I don't think he needs to say I'm really happy to hear that twice, because this script already went over the limit. Although I'm actually going to check it against other scripts to see if this really is, if I really could get away with more than 22 pages. Okay, Dr. Moorfield again. I'm really happy to hear that, especially considering all the ups and downs we've had. I applaud and congratulate you. Samantha, thank you. I can't tell you how good that makes me feel. Dr. Moorfield, it looks like you already have. Samantha, lost. What? Dr. Moorfield, your sweet disposition is how you're telling me how good you feel. Samantha, figuring it out. Oh, pauses as she collects herself. You know, it's kind of funny because on the one hand I wanted to get out, and then maybe on the other hand I did want to stay when I thought about my mom. Dr. Moorfield, yeah, I know how troubled you felt about her at our first session. Samantha, but you know what? I think I'm ready to go now. Dr. Moorfield, oh, that's so wonderful to hear. But because of the precarious nature of the events in your life and potential danger that has been present for you, we need to make sure that you will be safe and strong before we discharge you. But I'm confident that we can continue this therapy and treatment on the outside, and you can go back to your life. I don't think you need to be confined to the hospital for an interminably long period of time. I also know that a lot of it had to do with what was going on with Kamala. Primarily my having spoken to her alone, which I know upset you. I was really looking out for her, and she now knows what she needs to do. Samantha, oh, we're good now, me and Kamala, so don't worry yourself about that. I'm over it. We've put it behind us. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because that was a long paragraph, and I know Dr. Moorfield is a bit talkative, but maybe we can cut out some of this stuff. Let me go back over that paragraph. Dr. Moorfield, oh, that's so wonderful to hear. But because of the precarious nature of the events in your life and potential danger that has been present for you, we need to make sure that you'll be safe and strong before we discharge you. But I'm confident that we can continue this therapy and treatment on the outside. I'm not going to do contractions. I'm going to try to say that. Okay, one more time. Oh, that's been wonderful to hear. But because of the precarious nature of the events in your life and potential danger that has been present for you, we need to make sure that you will be safe and strong before we discharge you. But I am confident that we can continue this therapy and treatment on the outside, and you can go back to your life. I don't think you need to be confined to the hospital for an interminably long period of time. I also know that a lot of it had to do with what was going on with Kamala, primarily my having spoken to her alone, which I know upset you. I was really looking out for her, and she now knows what she needs to do. I'll keep it for now. Samantha, oh, we're good now, me and Kamala, so don't worry yourself about that. I'm over it. We've put it behind us. Dr. Moorfield, that's great and a healthy way to see it. Samantha, I know she can be pretty headstrong when she wants to be, So I get why you tried to talk to her and why it was hard for you, Dr. Moorfield. But I was referring to how upset you got, and I understand. Nobody likes people going behind their back. And because we both meant a lot to you, you thought, why are these two people talking about me and not including me? Samantha, yeah, it's all right. Internal, school, classroom, day. Kamala is sitting in a classroom with a bunch of other students. Her phone vibrates. She looks at it quickly. Image text being typed. Verna. Sorry to disturb you in school. The court sent a notice. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for Monday, January 23rd. You better let them know you have to miss class that day. And tell your girlfriend, too. You don't want to be another no-show. Kamala smiles with excitement. A couple of other students seem to notice, as they seem to be waiting for a teacher who hasn't come in yet. Immediately she quickly types into the phone. Image, text being typed, Kamala. Guess what? We got a hearing date. Smiling, excited emoji, dancing emoji. So that's two emojis. A smiling, excited emoji and a dancing emoji. Kamala looks up quickly as the teacher has now entered. I'm going to leave that to the editor or whatever because I have to type in text format, so I can't put emojis in my script. That's why. That's all I'm going to say. Kamala looks up quickly as the teacher has now entered. Internal, Samantha's hospital room, day. Samantha, let's forget about it. I got over it. And she's talking to, maybe I better say back to, I'm just going to put in parentheses to Dr. Moorfield. No, that should be pretty obvious. I mean, come on. Okay, Kamala looks up quickly as the teacher has now entered. Internal, Samantha's hospital room, day. Samantha, let's forget about it. I got over it. Let's just move on, because there's so much I got to do, Dr. Moorfield. What do you have to do? Samantha, well, like school. I got a lot of catching up to do, Dr. Moorfield. Yeah, you'll have to get a tutor to go over the stuff you missed, Samantha. Oh, that's going to be Kamala. She's planning to do it when she visits me, Dr. Moorfield. I know you're going to hate me, but that's not a good idea, Samantha. What? I don't get you sometimes, Dr. Moorfield. I know. The problem is the same one that got me in trouble with you before, and why I spoke to Kamala that time. She is a very giving person, but she's neglecting her own self-care. Samantha, how is helping a friend neglecting her own self-care? Dr. Moorfield, because this is a need of yours, not hers. It may seem good for her, and it is partly, but if she's just rehashing material she already learned and neglecting her current studies, which has to be taxing if you consider that she's working at the nonprofit she told me about. When does she have any time to relax, to breathe? You see what I'm getting at? Samantha looks very displeased, probably more upset but hiding it. Dr. Moorfield, it would be one thing if you were both studying together. Samantha, which we are. Dr. Moorfield, not really, unless she's going into remedial learning, which is fine if that's what she really wants to do. But you two are in a relationship, Samantha. Isn't that all the more reason? Dr. Moorfield, Samantha, I've seen a lot of people in relationships and I've counseled couples. I would say in most of the cases there is an imbalance. One of the two is taking less care of the other and getting more care taken of themselves. I understand you're in a situation now, and that makes life a bit harder for you at this time. But, while I can't tell you to not get help from her, I strongly feel, both for your sake and definitely to protect your relationship together, both of you would feel a lot better over a longer period of time if you take my advice. And I just have to make this one correction. I'm going to go back, don't worry. Both of you would feel a lot better over a longer period of time if you take my advice and seek professional tutor, perhaps a teacher who could go over the lessons with you. And you could also read the material on your own and catch up that way, which actually a lot of people do, and you'll be fine. They sit a while in silence. Samantha clearly not showing any positivity, Dr. Moorfield. Samantha? He waits. Can we move on? She gives a silent nod. Dr. Moorfield. I wanted to talk about your mom. Samantha. Wait, I just got a text from her. I mean Kamala. She says the hearing is going to be on the 23rd in the LA County Courthouse. So now you have to let me go. No ifs, ands, or buts. Dr. Moorfield, laughing a little. I think, Samantha, thrusting the phone at him. Here, see for yourself. He takes the phone and reads the text. Image being text Kamala. Guess what? We got a hearing date. Smiling, excited emoji, dancing emoji. Remember that? Be ready to go with me to the LA County Courthouse on the 23rd. Isn't that great, Sam? Dr. Moorfield. I'm going to make it my business to make sure you get there. How do you feel about that? Samantha, hesitating, then happy but apprehensive. Well, nervous. But I'm really glad, too. After all that caused me, which is how I got here in the first place. After all that assault caused me. All right, I'm going to have to think about that. Well, nervous, but I'm really glad, too. After all that caused me. No, I can't really use that. After all that caused me. After all that did to me, which is how I got. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Okay. After all that did. Whoops! After all that did to me. Let me see. I'm not promising anything. All right, let me read that again. Well, nervous, but I'm really glad, too. After all that did to me. Whoops. Typo! Well, nervous, but I'm really glad, too. After all that did to me, which is how I got here in the first place. Dr. Moorfield, yeah. You know what? Let me put the 2 dots. That should make it a little more making sense. Because it does seem like after all that did to me, which is how I got here in the first place, she's going to say something, but she kind of just leaves it hanging. Okay. Dr. Moorfield, yes, I know. I understand that you're nervous. I've counseled people who've had confrontations. Yes, I know. I understand that you're nervous. I've counseled people who had confrontations with the police, or even anyone big, and especially if they're violent. Mostly women in bad relationships with men. Thank God you're not one of those. But I still understand because it takes so much courage to confront your abuser. See, word was left out. Much. Because it takes so much courage to confront your abuser. So we're going to work, on your becoming strong. And I have to move that over, which means I have to change the whole thing now. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it takes so much courage to confront your abuser. So we're going to work on your becoming strong. In fact, I think, all right, I know that's going to be for a while. I think the feelings you've had about your mom and dad, oh God. See, I'm just, my hands are using their instinct to, but there's a way to do this. Yeah, the feelings you've had about your mom and dad are a good place to start, because this way you'll be, we're going to leave the you'll, we might not need it now. This way you'll be able to both work out your fear of, all right, here we go again with one of these. I have to move the you'll because the of is after the 5. Although I have a funny feeling I'm being too hard on myself, and that other script writers don't do that. But they use a certain program that's supposed to be the be-all and end-all of screenwriting. I might just have to convert to that at some point. Okay, so Your mom and dad are a good place to start because this way you'll be able to both work out your life, work out your fear of authority figures in your life, and learn how and when to trust them. And you'll be able to start working on your relationship with your mom. See, this is really a working video. It's not a live. It's not like, actual reading the finished product. And you'll also be able to work with your mom and dad. So when you go back home, you'll be prepared. So let's get back to your mom. And I just wanted to say, I know I'm like doing a lot of interpreting and editorializing. Escape. The purpose of this is, why am I recording this? Because I want to hear how the script sounds spoken, because that's the only way you're really going to know if you've written a good script. A lot of script writers just submit their material without hearing it. You have to hear what you've written. I even put it in the Google Translator so I can have another voice saying the words that I've written. And I know when my thing is rocking and when it's like struggling a little bit. So this is a working copy, so this is to be expected. Okay, Dr. Moorfield. We're going to reread that whole paragraph. Yes, I know. I understand that you're nervous. I've counseled people who've had confrontations with the police, or even anyone big, and especially if they're violent. Mostly women in bad relationships with men. Thank God you're not one of those. But I still understand because it takes so much courage to confront your abuser. So we're going to work on your becoming strong. In fact, I think the feelings you've had about your mom and your dad are a good place to start, because this way you'll be able to work out your fear of authority figures and learn how and when to trust them. And you'll also be able to start working on your relationship with your mom and dad, so when you go back home, you'll be prepared. So let's get back to your mom, Samantha. Wait, what does this have to do with my mom? Dr. Moorfield. I'm not going to be able to stop now because my alarm went off and I have to eat lunch because of a stupid doctor appointment, which I really wish I could get out of. Wait, what does this have to do with my mom, Dr. Moorfield? What I was trying to say was, the root of all your fears and feelings about any authority figure, such as a police officer, a judge, or a court bailiff, are rooted in the feelings you've developed over the years based on your relations with your parents. I know your mom stopped by, and you seem to be cheerful about that. You even told me just now that you're ready to go home. Why don't you tell me briefly what happened yesterday when she came? Samantha. Oh, it was really a shocker, I have to tell you. Internal. Giselle's workplace day. Giselle is busy trying to sort out a huge avalanche of books and papers on her desk as she sits before her computer trying to type while also sorting through the stuff. Her cell phone vibrates. She grabs it to see who it is. Jenny. She answers. Giselle. I'm very busy. I'm sorry. First day back. Jenny. Voiceover filtered. I just wanted to really apologize. Giselle miffed. I'm busy. I'm sorry. Jenny, voiceover, filtered, put off. Me too, but I thought you'd appreciate. Giselle hangs up. Internal, Samantha's hospital room day. Samantha, but the only problem is, she told me that I shouldn't betray because it concerns my dad, and I don't want him to figure out what she told me, and my mom doesn't want him to find out. Dr. Moorfield, smiling. So you had to keep a secret. Samantha, yeah, I guess so. Dr. Moorfield, it's okay if you don't want to divulge the secret. You remember how I told you the importance of not betraying something someone wanted to keep in confidence when it concerned Kamala's secret? Samantha, yeah. Dr. Moorfield, I have to keep lots of secrets. It's part of my professional responsibility to maintain the confidentiality of everyone I see. I see a lot of people, and what they open up to me is very private. So I hope you understand that. Samantha, oh, absolutely. Dr. Moorfield, and the reason I'm saying it is because it's important for you to know that if you did want to talk about it, it would go no further than here. but I understand that you can't share it until you're ready to do that, and I don't want you to say anything that makes you feel awkward or uncomfortable. The goal here is to help you feel better, but it sounds like you had a good time with your mom, better than how you felt before. Samantha: yeah, what she told me made me feel closer to her. Like she didn't talk to me like a mom. She talked to me just like another person. And that's what I really need from everybody around here. Instead of feeling like, oh, this is the role I gotta play and this is the role you gotta play, so we're all hiding behind what our roles are. Dr. Moorfield: wow, that's very insightful of you. Unfortunately, society kind of does operate that way, especially family units. There's a lot of uncomfortable feelings around families. Unfortunately, that's how things happen in this world. Samantha: yeah, Dr. Moorfield. But the thing is, there are underlying issues that are still there, and there's a reason that you did get upset about your mom. Because I remember the first day I saw you, you said, my mean mom isn't going to let me have therapy. And when I told you she was actually very strongly in support of the idea, you were a little surprised. So I know there's something going on there, and I imagine, just from having met your father, there's not much refuge you can find in him either. But do correct me if I'm wrong. Samantha: I'm just so happy I met Kamala. She's like the one person I can open up to. Dr. Moorfield: well, let's just stay on the topic of your mother. What made you feel good about the interaction with your mom yesterday because she treated you like an equal, a friend? Samantha: yeah, Dr. Moorfield. Tell me more about that. Samantha: well, you remember I told you I can't divulge her secret? Dr. Moorfield: I know. Well, you remember I told you I can't divulge her secret? Dr. Moorfield: I know. I'm not asking for that. Let's focus instead on how it made you feel good to feel like an equal, like someone she respected. Samantha: yeah, that sounds right, Dr. Moorfield. Tell me more about that feeling. Samantha: well, it was the first time in ages, I think ever. Dr. Moorfield: was it like the feeling you have about Kamala? Samantha: well, I wouldn't go that far, but it was definitely a step in that direction. Dr. Moorfield: does it make you feel better to see her as a friend you can hang out with, share secrets with, even open up with, the way you do with Kamala? Samantha: yeah, Dr. Moorfield. Like rather than as a mom. Samantha: yeah, Dr. Moorfield. You don't seem that talkative right now. Are you worried about something? Samantha: maybe. I was feeling good. It's like, it's starting to feel. Dr. Moorfield: go on. What is it starting to feel like? Samantha: I don't know. It's just, when you ask me those questions, I start to feel like this happiness is going to go away. Like you just took it away from me like a magician. Dr. Moorfield: the same way I made you feel better in our first session? Samantha, lighting up: yeah, that's it. Dr. Moorfield: okay. I think we really hit on something powerful here. She smiles in response. Dr. Moorfield: but first I have to tell you that in both cases, it wasn't me who changed your feelings. It was you. I'm not a magician. I'm just someone who knows something about how people think and the interaction of how we think and how we feel. So all I'm really doing is guiding you to your own feelings and how you will react in each moment. It's like I'm not taking you by the hand like if we were going on a hike on a trail. It's just like guideposts that tell you where the trail is so you don't lose your way. But you're the one in control. So when you recognize how certain things lead you to certain things, then not... I have to reread that. But you're the one in control. So when you recognize how certain things lead you to feel certain things, then, not that you know what makes you feel what, you can decide to change how you react. Oh, I'm going to have to really redo that one. Okay. And when you recognize how certain things lead you to feel certain things, then you can decide, then you can decide to change how you react. And the key to this is how you think when something occurs, Most of the time we aren't aware of our thoughts, or at least all of them. It's like all the involuntary muscles in your body that seem to know what to do at each appropriate time. Our minds work that way too because a lot of stimuli come at us all at once, but what we can focus on is just what is immediately in front of us. You mentioned magicians before. Magicians are essentially illusionists. They seem to be making us see things that don't seem possible. But in reality, all they are really doing is drawing our attention to what we need to see in order that we are unaware of the things they are manipulating that ultimately will make us believe we saw magic when they get to the end of their trick. My job as a psychologist is similar in that I'm trying to draw your attention to thoughts you already have that you are not aware of, as well as possibilities you don't normally think of that could alter the way you come out feeling. Does this make sense to you, Samantha? Yes, I get it totally. You're really good, Dr. Moorfield. You see, you don't feel bad anymore, but it's not because of me. It's because I led you to those dark thoughts, but then I led you away from them. Now, these are all thoughts in your mind. Now, I want to go back to those dark thoughts again, because that's the only way we'll learn how to deal with them the next time they come up. This is what the therapy is for, so that you never have to take those pills again. It was thoughts and feelings that led you to decide to take them. And even if you never take them again, you might if the situation gets so bad, because we have no control over situations. They just happen. If the situation gets really bad, you don't want to do anything else that could put you in danger. Is that clear, Samantha? Wow, this is a lot. Dr. Moorfield, I know. The reason it's a little more intense today is because you need to be ready to go out on your own in time for that hearing. So we have to work fast. Many psychiatrists and psychologists would not want to let you go, especially so soon after security was called in response to something you said or did. And I know how you can get that trigger fear in other people. And I know how you can get that triggers fear in other people. Do you see that? Samantha, you mean when I get real angry? Dr. Moorfield, yes. When you recalled back when Kamala and I returned from our talk, you were so upset that we really worried because you said some things that were pretty extreme. And I seen you like when you tried to walk on your own because you were frustrated the process of healing wasn't fast enough for you. And that scared me. That scared myself. That scared me and the medical staff. And one nurse even told me that you wanted to kill me, and that really scared her. So we have to work to make sure, especially if you're walking into a place of law enforcement, that you don't give anybody the wrong idea, even if on the inside you know you don't mean it. Samantha, okay, Dr. Moorfield. So let's get back to that dark feeling you were having a moment ago. What was it like? Samantha, I'm trying to remember, Dr. Moorfield. I was talking about how good you felt about your mother. And then you said, by my asking you to talk more about the good feeling, you felt like I was taking it away from you. Samantha, oh. She notices her phone blinking and vibrating again. She looks. Samantha, sorry, she looks more. It was Kamala. She's getting nervous because I didn't respond the first time. She wants to know that I got her message. I'm sorry, Doctor. I think this is important, Dr. Moorfield. Of course this is important. Answer her. Just tell her yes, you got the message, and you'll get back to her. Samantha, okay. She punches in her phone. Image text being typed. Samantha, sorry, babe, I'm in with the doctor now. I'm so happy you texted me. Love you. Samantha, smiling. Okay. Dr. Moorfield, you're happy now. Samantha, I told her I was happy she texted and that I love her. That felt really good, Dr. Moorfield. And the best part was you were the one who made yourself feel good just by writing that text. Plus, you also made someone else feel good. So that's a double bonus. Samantha's really smiling. Dr. Moorfield, but we still have to go into the dark place and work there. Tell me why you felt like I was taking away your happiness when I was asking you about it, Samantha. Well, I guess not you really, but I guess I felt bad because it always seems that whenever something good happens, it's going to get real bad afterward, Dr. Moorfield. Why? Samantha. Because it always does, Dr. Moorfield. Can you think of an example of how something good inevitably led to something bad? It could be any time in your life. Samantha thinks a moment. Well, like the time I was having a good time when I lived with Kamala? Dr. Moorfield. Sorry to interrupt, but why did you live with Kamala? Samantha. Oh, that was the time my dad lost it and yelled at us when he found out we were dating. Dr. Moorfield. Oh, so that was the bad, right? Samantha. No, I'm not there yet. So we stormed out of the house, and I stayed with her. Her mom was okay with it, and I was so glad to be out of my own house. But that's when the pandemic hit. And it's not even the pandemic I'm upset about, although that didn't help. It's the way my mom got so crazy and made us dress up in those hazmat suits, Dr. Moorfield. Hazmat suits? Samantha. Oh, you have no idea. It was hell there. So my dad came over and told me I had to go home, and then Kamala's mom said I had to go. So that was the bad. No Kamala. Plus I was locked in my room. No school. I mean, I got my problem with the other girls who were so stuck up about they're better than everybody, but at least it's a place where I could learn and grow and get what I need to eventually get out of that house, which, I'm sorry to say this, is like a hellhole. Dr. Moorfield. Okay. Samantha. I have to stop you. I get what the bad was. I can only imagine, especially after you told me how opposed to your relationship with Kamala your dad was, and then to have your mom making your life crazy. But I want to ask you if you can stop apologizing all the time. Are you aware of that? You said I'm sorry so many times. I'm glad you're polite and respect others, but I think you're feeling you did wrong for feeling those feelings. And I need to help you not feel wrong about any feelings, even the worst feelings. Feelings are natural, and in order to not feel bad feelings, which is really not the goal anyway, but in order to overcome the really bad, horrible stuff, it's important to embrace what you're feeling and work out of it with no remorse toward others, because the worst I've ever seen you do are the things that could harm you and also either frighten or piss off others. You know what? This is just too much. I've already gone to 24 pages anyway. I got to stop here because my alarm is going crazy on me. And we'll get back to it, and I thank you very much. Okay, bye.